Hey, my brothers and sisters, welcome in. Today, our verse of the day is John 4:24 in the New Living Translation. It says, "For God is spirit, so those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." That's John 4:24. And so as I look at this text, this is actually part of a conversation Jesus was having with the woman at the well, and her idea of what worship would look like. And really, many of our idea of what worship looks like is some idea we have to go to this church building or we have to go to this sacred place to encounter God, as if God isn't everywhere, as if God doesn't exist throughout space and time, throughout where we're sitting at right now, as if we can't worship God, we can't praise his glorious name wherever we're at. We have this idea that we have to go somewhere, we have to be in some place, or almost even in a position for us to worship God. And what Jesus was telling her in this time and in this place is that there's going to come a time, and at that time especially, they thought, hey, we have to go to a certain place. We have to go to the temple. We have to go to a certain mountain as a Samaritan to worship God. And we know the right way, and the others know the right way. But in this case, what we do understand and what we realize is you can worship God anywhere, and especially because of Jesus. We don't have to go to a church or a temple or anything of that sort, or to a certain mountain, to a certain lake, or to a certain campground for us to worship God. We could go anywhere. And I know some of you, and I love you, that those of you that will go and worship, you're in the middle of an aisle, walking down the aisle in a store, and you're shopping for stuff and you're worshiping the Lord. It's beautiful. Or you're in your car, and some people think you might be crazy because you're like raising your hands and you're doing all this interesting stuff that you probably wouldn't want to have recorded, but nevertheless people are probably looking over at you like, what's up with this dude, or what's up with this lady, what's she doing over here worshiping? You're worshiping your heart out with everything you have. So you know that, and many of you already are aware, you know that you could worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, in your bedroom, in your living room, wherever. It doesn't really matter. You could be in your car, you could be in a different place, you could be worshiping the Lord. And so I want to encourage you, no matter where you're at. And that's basically what the text says, right? Where is God? God's everywhere. God's everywhere. We don't have to go to a specific space or place to worship him. So I encourage you today, no matter where you're at, don't think you have to go to this place, or because we're in church, we need to be quiet and we need to, because God is here. No, God's everywhere. So no matter where you go, God's there. So if you think you're going to be able to hide from God somewhere, and even David talked about this in a psalm. He said, hey, if I go underneath the water, basically underneath the water, you're there. You're everywhere. So that's the point here of the text, is that no matter where you go, you can worship the Lord. And no matter where you go, you can't necessarily get away from him either. So don't think because you're hiding in some dark alley somewhere that he doesn't see you. He sees and knows and everything. So as we worship him, as we pursue him, just know you could do that in your living room, in your bedroom, wherever you might be. So I want to encourage you with that word today. Seek him wherever you are, and know that God is everywhere. All right, God bless you. Real pleasure for me to get a chance to share the word with you today with this verse. We'll see you in the next video.